Well, good morning. This is Hero again. This is a Chinese Elm. It's been in this container maybe a couple years. I think it's about time that, it might go back in the same container, but we need to make sure the root is progressing at the right. The root has to be just as good as the top. And that's one thing about bonsai. You have to do the root at the same time you're doing the top. You don't necessarily have to do it every year, but every 2, 3, 4 years, you should take it out and check. So that's what I'm going to do today. Let's pull this out and see what we got. Almost always I start at the root flare just to see if there's anything hidden. See, as we go down, see how big it gets? Yep. So, for a number of different reasons, a lot of these are buried too deep. A lot of times when I first put it in, for stability, I do sort of plant it deeper so that it's stable inside. People put wire and things like that, but if you learn to check from time to time, you don't have that problem. Okay, so we're looking good. See, these roots are coming out, nothing coiled. So if you keep it in this container too long, these roots will hit the sides and start to coil. And so, gotta make sure that everything is pulled away from the center. See, that's what I'm doing. It's making sure that any of the roots are being pulled away from the center. So, difference between a so-so bonsai and a great one is these time spent in between. Also, too many people try to make bonsai right away. And I've been stressing, you have to produce a good material to make it into a bonsai. So I spend more time in the prep than most people. You know, a lot of people just go to the nursery and then buy something, chop, 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 put a wire on it, and then pretend that it's a good bonsai. It's not. So these, I figure we don't need. So I'll go ahead and take those out. There's plenty of root down below, so we don't have to worry. There's been a kind of a, I won't call it a dispute, but difference in opinion about when things should be worked on in our local area, Northern California into Sacramento area. They say that they should be done in the dead of winter, and I think that it should be done as the winter is almost over, getting into warm season. So I'm doing this in February, almost the tail end. March is a really busy time because that's when everything should get done or get started. But see, now, look at that root flare. It's getting bigger and bigger. It was just hidden. So the surface root was helping to fatten that area. So just like the sacrifice branch, it was doing the fattening. Okay, so now looking at that, and then next thing I'm going to look for is coiling. Okay, there's a little bit of, see this right here, it hit the side and then want to start to coil right here. Okay, that's not bad. And then the bottom, Well, I guess it was getting time to repot. See these? It's getting too much roots in the bottom here. So I'll rake this out, lightly trim. Lightly trim stimulates the growth. Take too much off and it sets it back. So I'll do this light trimming, right? And then make sure there's no coiling. It just seems like over here. See, this side's okay. This is okay. So, just over here. Oh yeah. So, you should go ahead and address that problem. Then, if you don't do this in a timely manner, it'll haunt you later. When it's complete and it's ready to go into a bonsai pot, and there's this horrendous thing that's keeping you from. Oh, look at that thing! It's got big. So, anyway, that's why I always stress: work your material. Make good material and not hurry up and try to finish up bonsai, put wire on and pretend it is done. No, it's not done that way. Well, it's done that way, but it's not I don't consider it good bonsai. Oh, look at that thing. It just went back here. So pulling away from the trunk. Yeah. I think I could put it back in that same container, put fresh soil on the bottom, and then pop it up. But this is becoming a cascade, right? Or a half cascade. So I'm going to look for a cascade pot. Well, this is the last of my used mica pots. So now, on the cascade, you could use this as the front, and some people say you could use the corner going this way. I think this one here, I'm gonna go like this, because right now, well, the cascade doesn't become cascade till it crosses the horizon line and going down like that. And I think that way it becomes a full-fledged partial cascade. So I'm going to head for that direction. I wish this pot was a little bit smaller, but this is all I have. And cascade pots are really getting hard to find. Nice ceramic one or even mica pot is hard to find. But anyway, that's what I'm planning to do. I guess it's not going to be too much more. Well, I guess I could. Okay, let me study it and get back to you. Hey, I wish, like I was saying, I wish the pot was a little bit smaller, but I'm going to make this grow. Well, it's going to grow naturally, right? So I'm going to bring this branch so it comes out this way, and an apex here. This is just a sacrifice to keep that thing fattened up, so I'll probably cut it off here for now. And then what I want to do is to make this side grow and then dip down. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep this. See this branch down here that's going down? But right now I'm going to keep this because it's got a nice line, but I could start to do this, or up here start to do that. So when I get done, this will be at least twice the length of that, and then about this high, then it will be proportional to the pot. So it was either that or get a smaller pot, which is nearly impossible right now. Okay, so I'm going to stop here for now. Like I said, this is slightly too big for this tree, but they grow very rapidly, so I think I get it to look good in this container in about 2 years. I'm not really happy with having to pick it up because it's getting kind of on the heavy side, but still manageable. So anyway, so this is a rough bark Chinese elm that I wanted to know if I could just stick it back in the same container, but it looked like it's better if it's in this cascade. So that's what I did. So this is a cascade style rough bark Chinese elm. Oh, you probably wanted to see this whole thing turned around. This was sort of the front, and then came around. This is the back side. It's got a nice trunk right there too. So this was the back side, I think. Well, I call it the backside because of this curvature. We try to put the concave forward, but this head makes it look like it's better on that side. But if I cut this off and go this way or redo this, then it'll still work out. It's about a 2-year more project. So anyway, this is Hero saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter.